Hello everyone, I'm Frugal Tesla Guy, and you're probably wondering why I'm doing this weird angle. It's part of the video, and part of the reason why I'm doing that because, I'm a one-man band here, so I got to do the best with what I've got here. So the video that I did, unfortunately, I had to do a lot of it on the road, and my microphone wasn't working properly, so there's just a lot of road noise. It was covering up a lot of my voice. So I decided it's best to probably do it this way and kind of talk over some of the video that I had made earlier today. So what this video is in reference to is my earlier review a few days ago on the software update 8.5. And a big part of that review was was navigate on autopilot and the lane change without confirmation. And one of the things that I had mentioned is that I was a little disappointed in that, because what I had to do, at least in that earlier video, was that if there was a lane change, I had both my hands on the wheel on 10 and 2, and whenever there was a lane change that it wanted to make, it needed some kind of confirmation for me that my hands were on the wheel. So I had to kind of turn the steering wheel back and forth a little bit just to let the car know that my hands were on the wheel. So I had kind of expressed some disappointment in the fact that I had to do that, because at that point it just didn't feel like it was lane change without confirmation, because I had to confirm that my hands were on the wheel. So what some of the people who had watched my video had mentioned was that what I should do, instead of 10 and 2, I should have my hand down on the lower right or on the lower left portion of the steering wheel. Now, there's a reason for that. Because when it was on 10 and 2, which makes total sense, is when it's on 10 and 2, the weight is distributed evenly on the steering wheel. So what happened was, there was no resistance on it, so the steering wheel didn't sense that my hands were on there. So what some people had recommended is that instead of doing this, say for example on the lower right hand portion of the steering wheel, put your hand here and then your elbow resting on the center console, kind of on the armrest there. And with your hand on the lower part of the steering wheel, it's putting weight and pushing down on the steering wheel. So when it needs to make that lane change, that weight is the resistance it needs to sense that your hand is on the steering wheel, and it will change lanes without confirmation. Now, of course, the same can be done on the lower left hand. I've got my arm or my elbow on the armrest on the door, and my left hand is on the lower left portion of the steering wheel. And again, it's that weight that's pushing down on the wheel that gives it that resistance. And this is actually going to be my typical spot that I'll have it, because I'm left-handed, and this is where I'm more comfortable. So I want to thank the people who had watched my video for giving me that suggestion, because it indeed worked the way it's supposed to without any confirmation for me when it did want to make a lane change. Good. And it's still trying to change a lane. There's another car coming. Let's wait for this one to go, and I should change lanes at this point. And there we go. And in fact, it's kind of cool. I've had the car had the turn signal on for so long that the truck that's now behind me was courteous enough to flash his lights at me so I could get into the lane. So that was kind of nice. Now let's see if it takes me back into the slower lane. And it wants to do that. And once again, I am not doing anything at this point. So having my hand here, or even on the left side here with my elbow on the door here, that's also kind of a nice added that weight on the wheel, and it can sense that, and that I don't have to make that conscious effort to kind of jiggle the steering wheel to make that lane change. So that's nice. And so I can kind of, you know, uptick my review a little bit here because of that. Side here with my elbow kind of resting on the door. So let's see what we got going on here. Here we go. There it is, going into the lane, and voila. So again, this is the same route that I went last time, and so definitely some different results here. Let's see what happens. So we got a red light here.
Now turn right onto RB Way.
Let's see if it comes to a complete stop. Well, I got to get out. So, all right, cool. Fantastic. Thumbs up for me on this one. I think definitely an improvement. That was, I'm so glad that people were recommending that, that I change where I put my hands on the wheel, because that right there made all of the difference in the world. So that was just a quick follow-up on some of the things that I mentioned about Navigate on Autopilot and my semi-disappointment in it. No longer have any disappointments in it, at least when it comes to the lane change and the no confirmation on that lane change. So once again, I do want to thank for the people who watched my video, made those suggestions, because that was pretty much all that I needed. And that's what I love about YouTube, right? And that's what this channel is all about. I'm here to help you make your experience better in owning your Tesla, and in particular a Tesla Model 3. And of course, you can do the same for me by giving me some of these suggestions. And it's just kind of that open forum, the community that we've developed. So again, I'm very grateful for that, and I think it's fantastic that we can help each other out in both ways. So again, thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, do me a favor and help and support this channel by giving a like. And also, if you'd like to subscribe to my channel, that would be fantastic. And also, if you are thinking about buying a Tesla, and in particular a Model 3 or even an S or an X, and any of my videos have helped you in that decision, then I would love it if you use my referral code, because in turn you will get 1,000 miles of free supercharging. And who doesn't like or love free energy? So again, thank you all so much for watching, and until my next video, stay positively charged.